ate yogurt with mandarin, and went straight to the emergency room in less than an hour. Can you believe this is a true story? Sounds absurd, right? But that's exactly what happened to me 2 years ago. In those over 60, this can quietly trigger inflammation, bloating, and bacterial overgrowth, all of which strain heart function, disrupt brain clarity, and weaken the immune system. In this episode of Nutrition for Seniors, we'll uncover 3 everyday yogurt combinations that may silently harm your digestion and how to avoid them to protect your gut, your clarity, and your long-term senior health. Hi, I'm Vernon, with over 2 decades of experience in geriatric nutrition, and I've learned this: what you combine matters just as much as what you eat. Most yogurt mistakes aren't about quantity, they're about chemistry. The body after 60 digests differently, and certain food pairings, once harmless, can now disrupt your system in ways that build quietly over time. Before we go any further, hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a science-backed tip designed for senior health. Now, let's start with one of the most common and most underestimated yogurt combinations many older adults still use daily. Combo number 1: yogurt plus acidic fruits. Never combine. It's one of the most common breakfast mistakes older adults make, mixing yogurt with acidic fruits like oranges, pineapples, or kiwis. It looks fresh, tastes bright, and feels like the right way to start the day. But for those over 65, this pairing can silently disrupt digestion from the inside out. Here's why. Yogurt contains live probiotic bacteria that thrive best in a stable pH environment. Acidic fruits, on the other hand, sharply lower the pH in the stomach. When the two meet, they can trigger premature fermentation, not digestion. That process produces excess gas, bloating, and in some cases, even nausea or a foggy head just hours later. And that's not all. According to a 2020 study published in Food and Function, acidic foods consumed alongside probiotic-rich dairy were shown to impair the activity of digestive enzymes, reducing nutrient absorption and increasing intestinal inflammation in older adults. What your body doesn't break down, it struggles to eliminate, and over time, that burden shows up in your energy, your joints, and your memory. This reaction is especially problematic for seniors because the aging gut already produces fewer digestive enzymes and has slower motility. That means food stays longer in the system, giving it more time to ferment or putrefy if conditions are unfavorable. The result? Not just discomfort, but systemic effects that can wear on your immunity, your sleep quality, and even your mood. I remember Carla, 71, from Florida. She was sharp, active, and loved her morning yogurt bowl with citrus slices and a dash of cinnamon. But she came to me after months of unexplained bloating, fatigue, and aching knees. At first, she thought it was just aging, but when I removed acidic fruits from her yogurt routine, her symptoms eased in under 2 weeks. "I feel 10 pounds lighter, not in weight, but in pressure," she told me. Carla had tried cutting dairy, skipping gluten, even drinking ginger tea after every meal, but nothing seemed to make a lasting difference until she removed that one food pairing. It wasn't the yogurt, it was the acid-fruit combo quietly working against her every morning. Once she made the switch, her clarity improved and afternoon crashes became rare. This isn't about fear, it's about knowing what your body no longer tolerates like it once did. Many of us carry habits from our 40s or 50s into our 70s without adjusting for what's changed inside. So, what fruits can pair well with yogurt, especially for those focused on digestion and senior health? Stick with low-acid, enzyme-friendly options that complement your gut rather than stress it. Bananas, naturally alkaline, packed with potassium, and easy to digest. Papayas contain papain, an enzyme that boosts protein digestion. Ripe mangoes, less acidic than citrus, and rich in antioxidants. Blueberries, gentle on the gut, high in polyphenols that reduce inflammation. Stewed apples or pears, soft, soothing, and full of pectin for bloating relief. These simple swaps can make your yogurt bowl not only safer but far more beneficial for your aging digestive system. If you've ever felt sluggish or bloated after a healthy breakfast, let me know in the comments. You're not alone, and we've still got 2 more combinations to uncover. Some combinations disrupt digestion. Others confuse it entirely, especially when temperature gets involved. Combo number 2. Yogurt plus hot foods, never combine. Temperature seems simple, but inside the gut, it changes everything. Let me tell you about Richard, a 75-year-old client of mine from Alberta, thoughtful and disciplined. Every morning, hot oats, a drizzle of honey, and a cold scoop of yogurt melting right into the steam. To him, that mix feels balanced, comforting, and healthy, a small morning habit that grounds his day. But what he didn't realize was this comforting ritual was quietly undoing the very benefits he counted on. The warmth didn't just soothe it, silenced the very probiotics he thought were helping him. That gentle steam turned a health habit into an empty gesture, slowly weakening the digestive support his body needed most. When live probiotic bacteria in yogurt meet high heat, they begin dying off almost instantly, even before you take a bite. And when that happens, not only do you lose their benefits, but your digestive system may be left confused and unsupported. In older adults, this can lead to subtle but persistent digestive problems, gut imbalance, and even increased inflammation over time. A 2019 review published in Microorganisms showed that probiotic strains like Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium begin degrading rapidly above 40 degrees Celsius. That's barely warmer than a cup of tea and far below boiling, yet enough to render yogurt's benefits useless. Additional studies suggest that once these bacteria are exposed to sustained heat, their cellular structures collapse, making them not only inactive but potentially inflammatory if broken down improperly in the gut. For older adults with slower digestion and weakened enzyme response, this breakdown creates confusion in the microbiome, which can lead to discomfort, inflammation, and even immune suppression over time. For someone like Richard, who had no idea he was making a mistake, the results slowly added up: gas, stomach heaviness, and morning fatigue. When I removed the yogurt from his hot meals and served it separately cold, undisturbed, things changed. Within 10 days, his bloating eased, energy returned, and for the first time in months, he described his digestion as predictable. This isn't an uncommon yogurt mistake. Many older adults mix it into soups, oats, or curries without realizing the impact. But the gut works best when its ecosystem is supported, not scalded, especially in aging bodies with lower enzyme levels. By the way, if long-term energy and clarity are what you're aiming for, I broke down more timeless eating habits in another video. It's called My Grandma Ate These 5 Foods and Lived to 100, and it's already linked for you in the description below. Her habits were simple but powerful, and one of them involved never mixing temperatures that didn't belong together. So if you're using yogurt for its probiotic power, treat it like the living food it is. Serve it cool, keep it separate, and give your gut what it truly needs, not just what tastes comforting. For some, it's not breakfast that causes the most trouble. It's the golden, crispy foods at family dinners. Add yogurt to that mix, and what feels like comfort food can quickly turn into a digestive nightmare. Combo number 3. Yogurt plus fried foods, never combine. Some combinations don't just confuse your gut, they overwhelm it. Fatty, fried foods are already hard enough to break down on their own. They slow digestion, tax your pancreas, and increase inflammation throughout the body, especially in older adults. But when you combine them with yogurt, that creamy dip might feel like it balances out the oil, but in reality, it stacks one digestive burden on top of another. Yogurt introduces protein and probiotics, both of which require very different enzymes and pH conditions to digest than fried oils. That combination creates a perfect storm in the gut's slow breakdown, enzyme confusion, and digestive backup all at once. This isn't just observation. Researchers have confirmed it in older adults. through controlled digestive studies. In 2022, scientists writing in Frontiers in Nutrition observed that when older adults combined saturated fats with dairy, their bodies showed a spike in inflammatory markers after eating, along with reduced bile flow. That slowdown in digestion made meals feel heavier, linger longer, and place extra stress on the gut. This was exactly the case with Irene, 67, from Arizona. Every Saturday, her family held a big lunch: fried spring rolls, crispy chicken, and always a generous serving of creamy yogurt sauce. She thought it helped cool the meal down, but by late afternoon, she was bloated, foggy, and often skipped dinner from discomfort. The combination of heavy oils with probiotic dairy wasn't soothing her system, it was slowing it down. Her gut felt heavy, her energy dipped, and she began relying on antacids just to get through the evening. When I adjusted her lunch habits and swapped fried appetizers for steamed versions while keeping her yogurt for breakfast or a cool afternoon snack, her digestion noticeably improved in just 1 week. By week 2, she no longer avoided dinner. By week 3, she said her weekends felt lighter, cleaner, and finally enjoyable again. Here's something useful you can do right now. Pick one fried meal you've had this week and make a note of how your body felt after. Then tap the bell and subscribe, because next week I'll show you simple swaps that calm digestion without cutting flavor. It's all about understanding what your gut's really asking for, one meal at a time. Fried foods are inflammatory enough on their own. Add dairy proteins and probiotics on top, and you've got a recipe for gut fatigue. This isn't about cutting everything you enjoy, it's about spacing things out and letting your body do one job at a time. Everything we've covered today points to one truth: for senior health, even simple food choices carry serious weight. Yogurt and senior digestion, while often seen as a healthy food, becomes a risk when paired with the wrong ingredients, especially after 60. Here are the 3 combinations older adults should avoid. Yogurt with acidic fruits like citrus or pineapple. It destabilizes digestion and feeds inflammation. Yogurt with hot foods like oatmeal or soup. Heat kills probiotics before they can help. Yogurt with fried or fatty meals like samosas or crispy chicken. It slows everything down and stresses the gut. Many seniors also assume all yogurt is equally healthy, but that's a myth worth correcting. Flavored or low-fat yogurts often include sugar, starches, and additives that trigger digestive problems, not fix them. And without healthy fat, your body can't absorb vitamins A and D, both vital for bone strength and cognitive health. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Was there a yogurt pairing you always thought was healthy, but now realize it could be doing harm? Share it in the comments. Your story could help someone else rethink their routine and avoid weeks of discomfort. If this helps you see senior nutrition more clearly, tap like and subscribe for daily insights that truly support your health. Thank you for staying through, and I'll see you in the next episode.